Hey everybody, and welcome to Geeks and Drinks. I'm Jason.
Jordan.
And this is going to be a very movie-centric episode just because of everything that's happened over the past 2 weeks. There was some stuff that came out at New York Comic Con that we didn't get a chance to talk about. There was plenty of news that came out in the past 36 hours. And let's face it, tomorrow on Thursday is going to be a great day for additional trailers as well. Let's just jump into the big one right off the bat. Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Yeah, isn't it? But this is just, it was supposed to be a teaser, right? Didn't they mention we're getting like a real trailer?
Yeah, an actual trailer
when
that
Doctor Strange comes out.
Yes.
Okay.
They did release a little poster, like you said, them all looking like douchebags, just doing this whole what model pose or something, or I don't know.
They look like they're about to drop the most hipstery album of all time.
But yeah, with this is just a taste of what to expect because, like you said, with the trailer being attached to Doctor Strange, which is coming up in what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, if that?
Yeah, about that.
Yeah. So we're gonna see a lot more. But honestly, one thing I loved about this trailer, it was just scenes. It was showing which characters are in it, and maybe a cool action sequence. It's just a brief glimpse of it.
Well, that's what a trailer should be.
Exactly, but it's not like the most trailers nowadays will just give you
movie.
everything. Yeah.
Well, that's the big problem with kids' movies nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel bad because I know you and Jess have been burned multiple times by getting excited for some kid movie coming out. Secret Life of Pets. You guys saw Storks.
Mm-hmm.
But it's one of those things where, you like, it could be funny, like the trailer looked good, and then you go see the fucking thing and it's just all the good parts you already saw.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm going to go see Trolls when that comes out. But
no, I know we're going to go see Trolls. It's just one of those things that you kind of give and take in a sense that you look at it and like, okay, these scenes in this trailer, I'm sure there's an expanded version of it. I'll enjoy that, but I'm not going to expect much more from that. I'll still go and see it. I mean, there are movies out there we will never see.
3 words. Justin Timberlake. I'm in.
Like I said before, his new song for the movie is catchy as all hell.
JT can do no wrong. After he realized that shit was on his head in the 90s, we've moved on from that. We've moved on from that.
Anyways, getting back to the trailer for Guardians of the Galaxy, there were several great little scenes in there. They were obviously showing off more of the comedy aspects of it, which is one of the key aspects of the first Guardians film. I had to watch it a few times. This one scene where you see Yondu and Rocket just walking through, and you see all these Reavers just falling. Now, this is apparently a completed scene from what was shown at New York Comic Con. Essentially, without getting too much detail, Yondu separates from his team, the Reavers, and
well, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, in the comics, Yondu was a member of the Guardians.
Yes, and with Rocky, breaking him out of wherever he was broken into, and Yondu with his, arrow of death, going through this. It's kind of just a badass scene of Yondu just casually walking through as all this death is falling around.
We can only
him.
assume he's just nonchalantly whistling because that's how he controls the fucking thing.
And you just look at Rocket, just like, the hell has just happened?
That's where he can get narrow like that.
The running joke going online right now is that this one scene is all but confirmed at least one track for the Guardians of the Galaxy 2 soundtrack. It's Raining Men.
Possible.
I could see it happening. There was the other little funny bit between I'm drawing a blank.
Chris Pratt, Drax, Star-Lord.
Thank you. Drax and Star-Lord's character about Drax telling Star-Lord, one day you'll find a woman just as pathetic as you.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. A lot of people enjoyed the last couple seconds.
Man, some of us are single. We're drinking for 2. We have to hope there's someone terrible for us out there somewhere.
And the last part, you see Rocket blowing a hole in some person, and then you see the little bit of Baby Groot there sporting looks like a little red leather jacket or something like that. And I'm sure that'll sell a ton of toys regardless.
I don't know, man. I saw a zipper. He looked like a little sack boy from Little Big Planet.
That'd be fun if they do a little
would not surprise me.
Homage for that. So that is just a gist of the trailer that came out. We'll see an actual trailer
2 weeks.
in 2 weeks. I kind of don't want to see another trailer because this is enough for me.
I trust James Gunn.
You trust James Gunn?
I do. He hasn't Joss Whedoned us yet.
Yet being the key word.
No, that's what I'm saying. I understand, there's always a possibility for it, but hasn't done it yet, so remaining optimistic.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, Karen Gillian's in this one.
She's back as Nebula.
Massive crush, even she's non-ginger and blue.
Well, there's no hair on her, so...
Could be eyebrows or something. Some
Yeah,
women have mustaches. I don't know.
I do laugh that in a recent interview, James Gunn was mentioning that Nebula's character shows so much character depth and growth in this film that there's quote unquote enough of here to create a possible solo film for her.
Yeah, he's talking about he would like to do a spin-off, and that definitely seems very James Gunnish.
It does. I mean, are we going to try to spin off Guardians into its own little franchise?
You know what they haven't mentioned yet, or I don't think we have? The fact that there might be another Nathan Fillion reference in this.
There better be.
Well, because it's rumored that he might be some B-level superhero that just kind of is there and dies or some shit.
That'd be great. I mean, he was in the first
He
film,
was the
but
random voice.
He was a random voice. But seeing his actual face and his smirk,
Yeah,
that'd be fantastic to have him in there as a physical character. But we'll have to wait and see what happens with this film. Moving on is the other trailer that a lot of people were talking about was the second trailer for Assassin's Creed 2.
yeah, it didn't have Kanye in it.
Yeah, that was a big boost right there.
But it still has Marion Cotillard, so sorry.
Yeah. I'm still looking forward to this movie. Are you not interested in this movie at all?
Marion Cotillard.
Just that.
Her being in something immediately takes me out of it. It's I can't. No.
She's not even a critical or key role of this movie.
They've already made multiple mentions the fact that only about a third of the movie takes place in the Animus.
Yes.
2/3 of it is real world in Abstergo and shit like that.
And the Animus is definitely more
Whatever.
visually focused rather than what you had in the game, which was
every time it shows it, all I could think of is that scene in The Incredibles, the giant orb robot thing had the arm that was a claw machine.
Mm-hmm.
And it would just spin. That's all I could think of.
They're definitely hinting at that whole, like you were saying earlier, the bleed over.
Yeah, in the new trailer they definitely showed the whole bleeding effect. What you experience in the Animus. It's a weird training tool, and it'll carry with you even though you've moved outside of the Animus.
You just see aspects of him crawling, or jumping up between
Well, it shows
two
him
buildings.
shooting arrows and everyone kind of behind him, we're staging a breakout. I feel like they're starting to give away too much of the movie.
We kind of already have a gist of what's going to happen in this
Look,
movie.
as long as there's no Kanye, because I am a god, even though I'm a man of God. I'm gonna rhyme God with God. God.
And make millions of dollars doing so.
No, lose millions of dollars. Finding out him being broke was one of the best things that ever happened to me.
Oh, so you're not going to see this with me in theaters?
Oh, Suicide Squad. I will probably end up seeing it. Will I want to? No.
Okay. So this is one of those I'm going to have to drag your ass to go see.
Not even dragging, just we're going to it. You want to do anything else? Come on, man, it could be fun. Man.
I will say this. There is a very, very good chance you will enjoy yourself more with this film than you did with come on.
So, I like how you had to stop and wonder what Warner Brothers movie was shitty enough to compare this to. Because it sounded like you were about to say Suicide Squad, and then you wanted to say Batman vs Superman.
Yeah.
You couldn't decide which
go
one
either
was
or.
worse.
You can go either or. One was god awful, another one was so awful we started laughing at it midway through the film. This
Not even
one,
midway. Batman vs Superman, we started busting up laughing 5 minutes in.
yeah.
With Jesus Batman.
Bat Jesus. Okay, fair enough. Oh, okay, let's tie that.
Also, we knew to get hammered, a little saucy beforehand.
This is true,
But-
yes. Let's tie into one of the trailers that came out in the last 2 weeks was the Power Rangers trailer.
I want to know why it was filmed in Twilight Town. Last I checked, Angel Grove was a bit more sunny and warm.
Come on, everything has to be dark and gritty.
But does it have to look like it was filmed in
It could have
Washington
been
or
a remake
Oregon?
of The Breakfast Club for all I care until it got to the... until they were like, hey, look, now look at these magical things. Let's each take one. And all of a sudden they did the Spider-Man thing where the next morning they're all ripped and have...
Yeah, Jess made fun of that. It's like, oh yeah, it's magically Spider-Man. Like, even their morph suits look like the symbiote just... And then they wake up with abs. I mean, the only thing I could think of that has actually done that correctly was The Flash, because it actually made fun of it. Where he's like, dude, I have abs now. Whoa.
So...
Said Tim McGuire, like, yep, I just woke up like this. Oh, I'm still a nerd, right? It's like, no, you look like an asshole.
Which makes me wonder, like, how are, like, the Zords and everything going to actually work into
this?
Dude,
I told you, that was one of the things that made me laugh when they first released the character posters, if you want to even call them that, for Power Rangers, where it showed them, like, with their Zords. Like, Blue Ranger was, like, striking, like, the Burt Reynolds like, sexy pose on it. It's like, what is this? What? You are not even trying anymore, are you?
I mean, it already knows not to take itself that seriously, but
when you do it dark and gritty like that, come on.
It's bad enough when you have Bryan Cranston, a man who I respect for his acting prowess, turns around and says, this is going to be like the Batman Begins.
Dark Knight. This is going to be the Dark Knight.
I was just like, no, doesn't need to be like that.
Yeah, but because of this, because I'm going to immediately gloss over the rest of the trailer, we get one of the greatest video game trailers I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
I'll give you that.
I mean, you keep likening it to like a Flash game. I don't think it's that bad.
No, it has that design. Basically, you have animated backgrounds and basically Flash sprites.
But it is... But see, when you say Flash game, I immediately think back to like E-bombs, where it's like, yeah, you use arrow keys and like A and S or A and D, and that's all you got.
It's more than that. I will agree with that. But the thing is, though, when you first told me about it, I'm like, you're talking about this is just a movie tie-in to the game. You're like, no, it's like actual nostalgia from like the 90s.
Dude, the fact that it has like all like the voices in the back.
Mm-hmm. And then I finally saw the trailer and went, ooh.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I kind of want this game.
Yeah, it was like, let's get a couple good people together, get drunk, and play some Power Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, even when you pulled up a little thing of right now, like, it just looks explodey and amazing.
Mm-hmm. It just looks fun.
Like, the only downside is it looks like you can only have 4 people. So you can't have the full gamut of all 5.
Yeah.
But, again, most consoles only allow 4 players at the same time anyway, so...
I do like the fact that if you are actually playing local co-op, you can actually team up to do, like, combo moves. So I do like that aspect of it.
Like I said,
it just looks fun.
It strikes me as, like, Scott Pilgrim that was done by Ubisoft.
Yeah.
But not as well done. Like, I know that's probably kind of mean to say. But, like, Scott Pilgrim versus the World, the game, went back to the old school side-scrolling game, which that's what this looks like this is doing. The only difference is this doesn't look like it's going to go as in-depth as that.
I'm just waiting for, like, a pizza to fall out and get pizza power, and then...
Dude, reshelled. That already happened.
That's true, it did.
That was another game I had on my Xbox.
God.
Near the end, my Xbox is basically just, a tiny nostalgia arcade.
Nostalgia's been hitting us pretty hard as of late with everything.
That's what they have now.
Yeah. We are that. We became the target demographic, then we grew older, and then we re-became the target demographic.
Well, I blame Harry Potter. Harry Potter left like this vacuum. Because when that ended, everyone kind of had to scramble to try to make something new.
True.
So we ended up like shit like Twilight and stuff like that. And then all the superhero movies started coming out. And because superhero basically goes back to, Batman. Remember when we saw Batman as children? Remember Batman the animated series when we were kids? It's like, cool, let's just keep fucking flinging that out there and see what we can do.
Right.
But yeah. Fucking Power Rangers, man.
Yeah. Looks good. Cannot wait for that. I'll definitely pick that one up. It was what? PS4, Xbox One?
Yeah, all next-gen consoles.
Yeah. So definitely try to pick that one up. It's got to be, I'm sure, less than $20. Maybe 10,
Yeah, I was
15.
guessing maybe like $20.
It'll be worth it,
If
though.
that, yeah.
It'll be a hell of a lot better
than Jiggle Physics that you made me play. Yeah.
Oh no, not that one. That one
that.
still has its entertainment value in certain aspects, especially when I make you play.
That's like torture is not. That doesn't count as actual entertainment.
No, I'm talking about compared to Mighty Number 9, which I paid $20 for, and I've yet to beat a level because it
wasn't great.
No, it wasn't. What else are we missed out? Oh yes, of course. The final Star Wars Rogue One trailer.
This is the final trailer, like we're not getting one more?
This is the final trailer that they stated. There'll probably be a couple TV spots here and there between now and then, but as far as theatrical trailers, this is the last one before it comes out. We have less than 2 months to go.
Which makes sense because even this trailer was done right. It didn't really tell you everything, but it gave you enough to actually tell you, like, this is probably what you're going to see. This is the story.
Yeah. You see, Jen is a little girl. You find out her father has something to do with this.
Well, no, you find out her dad basically was the architect for the Death Star. Mm-hmm. Like, that's why they're out to go rescue him, because he probably, yeah.
Which makes me wonder, how does this tie into, like, the Geonosians that had, and all that stuff, how they were already working on it back in, what was it, episode 2, yeah.
Because 2 ends with Dooku taking the plans.
Right. So it makes me wonder, like, how does that work with this?
Could be him just, he was the architect for the cannon.
Oh, that's true, yeah. I mean, they can build the space station.
One specific component.
Yeah, true. I could see that. They did show a little bit of Darth Vader in there, and honestly, I already know that he's not going to play a very strong role in this, and honestly, I'm perfectly fine with that, because we're dealing with a number of characters that are basically brand new.
I think Darth Vader will be like Darth Vader in A New Hope. Everyone's going to get really hyped about him being in it, and it is going to be amazing that he's in it, and I think the actual screen time he's going to get
be like less than 5 minutes.
Yeah, because in New Hope, he only had like 19 minutes in that whole movie?
Something like that.
Some small, insignificant amount that you don't realize that, like, holy shit, he was barely even in the motherfucker.
But also you get same things like Darth Maul and whatnot. I mean, yeah, he had this gigantic fight scene at the end, but for the rest of it, he was in it for maybe all of a minute, maybe 2. Yeah. Which he's back in Star Wars Rebels, and I'm not going to get into that.
Nah.
But it looks great. It looks fun. I will say this, though. Compared to previous trailers and videos and little behind-the-scenes featurettes that have been released so far, this has a much more hopeful tone than before.
Yeah, the first was a little bleak.
And I was kind of looking forward to that. I wanted to see...
I still think it will be.
You think
the
it'll
only
be
thing
bleak?
that scares me, I feel like this is going to make or break Extended Universe. Like, if it's not done well...
Then you can just
it's
forget
probably
the rest
gonna
of
get
it.
written off.
Yeah.
If it does really well, I mean, it is Star Wars, so I think enough people will see it. Mm-hmm. But will it be enough?
I mean, Episode 7 made like $960 million domestically or something like that.
Yeah.
Will this do the same? I don't think so, but it'll definitely do very well. Like, I'm guessing around like 700 million.
You know, Tron Legacy did pretty well for itself, too.
Oh, God.
But I didn't get my sequel to that either.
I want a third Tron movie.
Because you're fucking Tomorrowland.
You are never going to let me...
No.
I did not single-handedly cause this.
I am essentially Trump, and you are minorities. You are the cause to all my problems now. Doesn't matter if it's true or not. Okay? I will build a wall and make you pay for it. Oh, we're getting political now.
Let's get away from that. Drink some more. All right.
But yeah, no, like, I am definitely excited to see where this is going to lead. Because I think the main reason why we're getting something like this in the first place is because the TV shows are doing well. Like, Rebels is doing surprisingly well. I've just never watched it.
Rebels,
but
fantastic.
I'm told it's amazing.
It's just like when you got shocked at me for not watching Justice League Unlimited. You said it was fantastic, and I have no doubts to that. It's just still on my to-watch list.
I don't think you compare the two. Because one is Justice League.
I could easily compare the two.
So it's in the shot. Justice League. And one's Rebels. Like, they're both pretty high up there. Like, they're more than... having to raise my arms more than 90 degrees.
From what I have seen of Justice League Unlimited, I told you...
How many memes online do you see of Star Wars Rebels? None. How many memes do you see of Justice League?
They're all nerds, that's why.
Nerds can't be wrong.
They could be wrong plenty of times.
Not when they're supporting my argument. That's what being a nerd is about.
I hate everyone unless they agree with me.
Yeah. Fuck you. Do you agree with me? Yeah. Never mind.
You know what? Just because of that, I'm going to jump to the next, another article. We're going to get to a couple movies that are just recently announced. They're currently in the works of early development. And I'm going to jump to the first one just because we're going to jump to what we're talking about. The rumored Sky High sequel in early development.
Yeah.
Will be canceled. No,
you mean a dick. You knock on this wood table right now.
Why?
I'll cut a bitch.
It's not even wood.
It's faux wood. Nonsense. I don't know, man.
It's... Okay, we're talking very, very early development. We're talking Like,
Well,
they're
yeah.
still working on the
'Kay?
script.
The main actor needs work. Okay, has he done anything since this? No. I mean, I think
Do
he
you
did.
really think they... Well, they probably... Yeah, what am I saying? Yes, they could grab the entire cast back.
Yeah.
I mean, Bruce Campbell is busy with, Ash versus the Evil Dead.
You put a paycheck in front of Bruce Campbell. He's like, I'm in. I mean, I don't have to eat SpaghettiOs for a week. Fantastic. Let's do this. Seen
All
the
right.
size of that man's chin. How many T-shirts do you think he goes through? I'm assuming he
Okay.
puts them on once and immediately the collar stretched out. Okay, it's like if Mac tonight just kind of smoothed the edge of his chin over.
Jesus.
That's fucked up. Especially considering I really do enjoy anything Bruce Campbell's done, and my chin is equally as large. I'm just saying the struggle is real, man.
I was going to say, you're close enough.
But dude, come on.
I'm not doubting it. Sky High was a great movie when I finally saw it. I never saw it when it was first released. It took me a while to get to it. I only saw it within the last year, and I actually really enjoyed it.
I saw the motherfucker in theaters. I bought the fucking DVD when it came out on Blu-ray. Or not Blu-ray, DVD. Like, to the point where, like, when I bought it, it's, like, in full screen, because widescreen wasn't really
Okay,
flushed yet.
would we like a sequel? Yes. Would we like to see all the original cast back? Yes. Is this going to happen anytime soon? No, not at all. Especially because the reported screenwriters for this already came out and said, well, we're kind of tossing up right now between focusing exclusively on Sky High sequel or Shrek 5. Someone's going to give them more money. Either Disney or DreamWorks.
God, I hope it's not Shrek. That should have died a long time ago.
DreamWorks has already greenlit Shrek 5 and I think 6 as well. That's going to happen regardless. Now, Sky High, unfortunately, is probably a bit of a...
Yeah, Disney's like, oh, we don't give a shit. If it happens, it happens. We'll make some money, but if not, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, they already have, their own original properties. They have Marvel. They also have Star Wars. I mean, they're fine. Plus they're in this current, spat of what,
Maybe Kurt Russell needs the work.
what movie
Get on it, Disney.
should we remake next as live action? Of course, the next biggest one right now is being fast tracked as Mulan. So
I thought it was Lion King.
Lion King.
I knew Mulan was fast tracked, but
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Mulan was fast tracked, but Lion King's going to be after Mulan because that's
okay.
be CG and go through all of that aspect and blah blah blah. So, yeah, Sky High would be great. It won't be anytime soon, though.
oh, you bastards.
Yeah, I know.
Broke my heart, Disney. Broke my heart.
What about Willy Wonka, though?
No, it could be good.
Did this really need this? Warner Brothers picked up the license to create a new Willy Wonka film.
Here's the thing. It could be either really good or really bad. And I think a lot of it is going to hinder on the style of it. Because if you pull a fucking Tim Burton again, no one's going to give a shit. Because the Tim Burton one could have been good because it was much closer to the book than the Gene Wilder one.
Closer to Roald Dahl's vision.
It didn't have the same heart that the Gene Wilder one had.
Here's the problem, though.
And you had fucking Tim Burton ejaculating black and white Tim Burton stripes everywhere.
What's the other thing that all these movie companies are, jerking themselves off to?
Dead actors?
Origin stories.
Well, yeah. That's always been a thing, though.
Do we really need an origin story for Willy fucking Wonka?
Yeah, man.
Really?
Don't you want to know how he ended up? Like, how do you come to be, like, the owner of a giant famous chocolate factory and being this batshit crazy recluse? Like, what forces a man into that?
Simple.
How does he meet the Oompa Loompas?
He was raised by Oompa Loompas, got pissed off by one, and turned around and enslaved him.
Look at me. I am the captain now. Or in this case, I am the chocolatier now.
The only other bit of news that was released by Warner Brothers is...
Dude, could you imagine if they made this, like, as a Henry Selick movie? Like, in an art
Okay,
style of, like, James and the Giant Peach, or even to some extent the, what was that movie we watched that Netflix luckily picked up?
Oh, the Prince.
The Little Prince.
The Little Prince, yeah.
Like, or if it was done like something like that.
That could be really cool.
Boom! Pay attention to me, Hollywood, okay?
Given...
I'll make you dozens of dollars. Dozens!
Given the fact that there's
it won't happen.
There's no original... Given the fact that Roald Dahl never created any original material regarding, the origin of Willy Wonka himself.
That's fun. That means you're fucking Mad Libbing it.
But then they grabbed Kevin McCormick to write the script.
I don't know who that is.
His last script was The Secret Life of Pets. Yeah, now you see my... Yeah, I know. Oh, well. Well, that's being in the works. That is a thing, but as we know, many
Hollywood,
things...
stop Zack Snydering all over the place, okay? You make one mediocre shit thing, but because it makes money, it's like, let's just keep hiring that guy.
But can we keep...
No.
At the same time, can you stop DiCaprio from trying to make this movie?
No, I'm cool with it.
You're cool with DiCaprio trying to make a live movie adaptation of Captain Planet.
If it means I get the blonde Australian chick in a real life form, I'm in. But more importantly, I think the greatest thing I've seen in reply to this was my buddy Andrew Dixon. You've heard me mention Dixon.
Yeah.
Dixon made the comment, do you think they'll be able to get Don Cheadle to reprise his role?
Turn you into a motherfucking tree?
Yeah. Oh, God, if they do, I hope he still has a green mullet. You know what, even better, just get a bunch of famous actors together just to fill in the villains, just like they did for the animated series.
Oh, jeez.
Like Jeff Goldblum was one, Meg Ryan was one. I think
Now,
Ed Asner was one.
Now, could you imagine DiCaprio turning around and saying, I'm an environmentalist, I love the environment, I also love pushing myself to the very limits. I did that for, the movies, and I got an Oscar. You know what? I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to be Captain Planet.
Yeah, I'd be down for that.
DiCaprio being Captain Planet.
Why the fuck not? Gritty reboot.
Okay, there are several things out there that you can turn dark and gritty. How do you do that with Captain Planet?
Have you not seen the episode where they went to the South and AIDS was a thing? Don't go near him. He got the AIDS. And the episode ends with Captain Planet speaking to all the adults in a fucking gymnasium, in a basketball gym, just going okay, so here's the thing about AIDS. You're not gonna catch it from sharing a drinking fountain with someone. You can get it by sharing needles or having relations with somebody. Him trying to be really PC about sex, and it was that episode is just magic in and of itself.
You really want to see DiCaprio?
You would not pay to have Leonardo DiCaprio give a group of people a AIDS sex talk in the middle of a Southern gymnasium. If they recreate that scene, I would walk into the theater, pay my $20 for that one ticket. Even if it's just 20 minutes of Leo doing that as Captain Planet. Sold. That is movie. That's how he gets his second Oscar right there. Didn't even have to get mauled by a bear for that one either.
No, he should have hug a bunch of trees and deal with preteens. Oh, God. I don't know where you fucking went with that one. Oh.
The fact that you can't get AIDS from sharing a drinking fountain with someone who has AIDS. And there is a difference between having AIDS and being HIV positive. That is the only bit I can remember, because the last time I saw that episode, I was in high school, 15 years ago.
This is not an after-school special. God damn.
But that's what that episode was. Most of the episodes got very preachy and very heavy. I mean, fucking LeVar Burton was in it. He was a black kid from Africa. I don't remember any of their names. But
he was Captain Planet.
No, he was a black kid too, wasn't he?
The internet will correct us if we're wrong. Yeah, we'll think about it. So, yeah, Leo DiCaprio's production company is currently working in early development of a Captain Planet movie. Before we get to some gaming news real quick, we also want to mention that we mentioned earlier that tomorrow on Thursday is going to be a very great day to see a bunch of great trailers coming out. Another one's coming out tomorrow is Logan. And in preparation for that, they released a couple images. First one is of Hugh Jackman as Logan. And this basically all but confirms, other previous times have been basically rumors and whatnot, they are definitely using source material from Old Man Logan. That storyline was fantastic. It also basically shows the death of Logan and the continuation of the Wolverine character by X-23. You did. You looked it up. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I'll make the correction.
Kunta was the kid from Africa. David Coburn was Captain Planet.
All right.
Fucking try to tell me my business, devil woman. But Old Man Logan.
Yes. Looks good. He looks like
Well, sorry. It's Wolverine 3. Everyone keeps calling it Old Man Logan, and I had to explain to someone from work the other day. It's like you will never see Old Man Logan the movie. Why not? Because have you read the fucking comic? Yeah, he's like old and a badass. I'm like, okay, but do you not remember what happens in that comic? Yeah, he was. No. Quit just saying old and badass, because that could be fucking anybody.
Yeah.
That's just called Sir Ian McKellen on a Tuesday. The story of Old Man Logan is he gets pulled out of retirement and away from his family by a Hawkeye who is fucking blind at this point and needs help.
Going on a cross-country road trip.
And basically just murders everybody.
Yes.
Only for it to end in a giant bloody battle between Old Man Logan and the Hulk gang, where he eventually gets eaten by Bruce Banner or the Hulk, and he bursts his way out like a fucking xenomorph, an alien.
I don't think they'll go that far. I honestly think what they'll probably do is turn that around and be Logan versus Sabretooth.
But see, even then that would make sense. You can't have Hawkeye.
You can't have Hawkeye.
You can't have any of
They'll have aspects of it. I can easily see or foresee a Logan.
Just because he's old and wearing a crop duster and a hat doesn't mean like, oh, they're borrowing from this. It's like, no.
I want to say this is gonna be the end. Well, we know this is gonna be the end of Hugh Jackman's role, and I think you utilizing elements from Old Man Logan, I think actually works very well to its favor because it also allows you to introduce X-23.
I wouldn't even say
to
elements.
Continue on.
I would say aesthetics.
Okay.
Because I don't remember X-23 being in Old Man Logan.
X-23. Well, that's the beginning of it. I'm gonna have to dive into this and get back to you exactly how that happens because in the movie they saying they're out to rescue a young mutant girl who has certain powers.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
then, but
that could be X-23. But I gotta say, this previous picture that was released of Patrick Stewart as Professor X, as he looks old and fucked up.
Here's the problem: this movie's gonna take place probably like 40 years in the future.
Yeah.
And Sir Ian McKellen's probably still gonna, or not Ian McKellen. Sir Patrick Stewart's probably gonna look a lot younger than this. It's gonna be like in Next Generation, where it's like this is what Picard's gonna look like in 20 years. And he looks basically like they do in this picture.
Right.
And then you see him 20 years now that it's in the future, and he looks like he's aged like 2 days.
True. Very true.
There's no real way to know. That's all I'm saying. Either way, I'm in. Like, I will see it. I am a little afraid that, like, it's rated R because of fucking Deadpool.
Yeah. Yeah, that's going to have to happen.
But let's be honest, there have been other iterations of Wolverine before we actually got the finished product. We were promised something much darker, much more amazing, but then the studio or someone stepped in and went, well, we couldn't really do that. Remember, before Wolverine 2 came out, which was what, The Wolverine?
Yes.
Before The Wolverine came out, the sequel was supposed to be done by Darren Aronofsky. But then when they started telling him, you can't do this, you can't do that, he told them to go fuck themselves and went and made Black Swan.
Yep.
So,
we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Getting to some gaming news real quick. The internet went freaking crazy, although I think a little too crazy.
Oh, you did dick. Did you ever play?
For Rockstar's announcement confirming Red Dead Redemption 2. Yes, I did play the first game. Yes, I enjoyed it. Actually, a fair bit more than any of the Grand Theft Auto games I've ever played. So when they made it an announcement for the sequel, that's awesome. I'm looking forward to it, and that was the end of it for me.
Communist.
Communists.
I cannot tell you how many hours I spent just doing, like, I actually did the majority of the side quests in that game.
Okay.
The worst part is, I didn't even, because this is around the time, when Red Dead Redemption 1 came out, was around the same time I started to realize games don't have manuals anymore.
Yes, that's true.
So
yeah.
I never looked at the actual instruction booklet on the inside. It's like, oh, fuck it. And as I kept playing and getting lost in this massive world, eventually I opened it up. I don't remember why, but I opened it up to put the disc away for a second. I'm like, oh, what the fuck fell out? Literally, that game came with like a giant fucking map of the entire world.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in the game.
In the game, yeah.
And then I realized, holy shit, I could have been using this the whole time. There was something oddly gratifying about, going to Mexico, lassoing a chick, fucking leaving her on some train tracks and just sitting there giggling, snidely whiplashing, going, yes.
It was a hell of a lot of fun.
You tell me you felt nothing at the end?
Okay.
You didn't feel the slightest tinge?
I had feelings back when I finished the game, but that was so long ago, and like, I will enjoy it when it comes out again. Do I really?
We need a sequel.
I know we need a sequel, and I'm glad we are getting
It's
a
the
sequel.
sequel we need, but not the one we deserve.
Jesus.
Okay.
But I look at it more as this was more so an inevitability. It was going to happen eventually.
Well, because Red Dead Redemption was already technically a sequel.
Yeah.
Red Dead Revolver.
Mm-hmm.
Which technically, some people just consider it Red Dead Beta.
Basically.
But could you imagine how much better this would be?
This is going to be really nice because the
What
amount
if this is the Arkham City of Red Dead?
that I will be ecstatic and I will spend days and days and days playing it. That'll be me. But I'm going to try to not speculate as much on the video game because I've been burned so many times by video games that I've anticipated in the past. I'm looking forward to it. Yes. Am I going to be, counting down the seconds till it comes out? And
when I first found this out, I got half a chub.
To each their own.
I had to give myself a little re-rack at work because I saw the news on my phone.
I mean, I know that Red Dead Redemption was recently allowed backwards compatibility on the Xbox One. I may revisit it for old time's sake before
It needs an HD remake. I'd buy it.
Yeah. Just like the upcoming Arkham games?
No.
You're not going to buy that one?
Maybe. I mean, it'll be one of those things where it'll be like the Uncharted ones. I'll wait and then pick it up when it's like $20.
But that was a great set of games.
Yeah.
That was so much fun. Oh, okay. This looks, like I said, it looks fun. Some people are more excited than others. Should be great. The one that I was excited for came just before we started recording, and I seriously was considering pushing recording back a day so we can talk about it immediately. But Nintendo finally released a random tweet earlier tonight stating, "Be among the first to discover NX. Watch the preview trailer at 7 a.m. Pacific tomorrow."
They have to make him look like a pedophile.
It's Mario. It's going to happen.
You realize saying it like that doesn't help, right?
No, it doesn't, but I'm a Nintendo fanboy. No matter what you say, I'm still going to buy all their
Nothing
stuff.
wrong with that.
Yeah. Further details have revealed that it's not going to be like a full release like a Nintendo Direct showcasing all these cool aspects of it. Instead, it's going to be a 3-minute reveal trailer, giving you an idea of what to expect of this new... a lot of people are saying it's a hybrid handheld/console. We'll find out within the next 12 hours for us, but by the time this video is on YouTube, you guys have already watched it, so
Probably.
we'll have our review of that and my utmost excitement
I'm
for it.
legitimately expecting it to be like a Target commercial where you just have like the one product just like spinning like this and like weird fan art shit like ejaculating like look Mario jumping off this rainbow in 4 different directions. That weird like kaleidoscope bukkake of color. Like I said, like in a Target commercial. Where it's like get ready for summer with savings like that, but with like Nintendo shit everywhere.
I'll still be excited for it.
Like it'll show you like quick full images, like maybe show you the 5 games that are probably gonna come out with launch.
Show a little bit more of the new Legend of Zelda game, which I cannot wait for.
Bring up more how we're gonna get, Mario on the iPhone for some fucking reason. That needed to happen.
Which the game itself is not really actually being developed by Nintendo. I mean, Nintendo has created the materials for it and the general outline of the game, and Miyamoto's actually still working on it and directing it.
Yeah, the general outline. The
but
same outline they've been using since the 80s.
The engineering aspect of it is actually being created by DENA, which is a mobile video game company that Nintendo partnered with started a year ago to start expanding out into the mobile market with original Nintendo IPs. Now, does that mean brand new games? Yes, but they're most likely, like this upcoming game, are just going to feature classic Nintendo characters in a slightly different setting. Basically ways to make you spend money. This will probably be about $15 for that game. I will still gladly pay for it.
Same characters, new peripherals to go and explore.
Take all my money!
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I know. Oh.
You've seen me at Barnes & Noble when they have their new leather-bound books.
And then when we took a trip to the last bookstore.
Nope, let's not mention that one, because that was like, man.
That vault. Oh. Anyways,
Anyhoozle.
Yeah. Let's get to the cool things of the week. And this is actually 2 things. Nostalgia, as we've been talking about all this episode, is back in full force. And it's going to get just a little bit better than it already is. because not one but two movies are making their way back to the big screen for a short period of time. First one being
Space Jam.
yes.
Here's your chance to your dance at the Space Jam. All right.
Yes, Space Jam is being re-released in theaters for the 20th anniversary of the film. It'll be released only for 2 days, though, on November 13th and November 16th. Both days will have two different showings. November 13th is at 2 and 6 p.m. Wednesday, November 16th is at 7. Oh, I only get one for the second one.
I still need to buy the... One of the greatest parts about that movie is Pepe Le Pew's jersey. Pepe Le Pew does not have a number on his jersey. It is literally just a giant red heart.
Yeah?
That is amazing.
Well, it's Pepe Le Pew.
I want that jersey.
That makes... And you can actually buy it, so...
Keep doing that off camera. Sorry. Yes.
So the other one, because you got to catch them all, the very first Pokemon movie is coming back to theaters. That's going to be one hell of a nostalgia trip. It hasn't been 20 years. It's been about 17 years since the first film
Could you
came out.
imagine if that's how they release like Mew for Pokemon Go? It's like, yeah, movie theaters are going to have this.
At the end of it, like, there's a giant QR code.
No,
Snap
not
it.
even that. They're just like, okay, let's find giant movie theaters. Like big ones, like the Grauman's Shiny Theater.
Mhm.
Or just whatever equivalent might be nearby. And just be like, yeah, go catch Mew.
Yeah? I could see that. That'd be amazing. So
many people. Would be
this one's
trampled
coming
to death.
out on both October 29th and November 1st. Tickets actually are on sale now, and I would not be surprised if these ones sell out fairly quickly.
Oh yeah, I look forward to them going like, shit, we're gonna add more screenings because we
Plus-
didn't expect such a rush.
Especially because they've already announced the pricing for these. Unlike these usual films where you will pay the same amount, regardless if it's an old film or a new film.
It's like flashback pricing.
The Pokemon movie will be, each ticket is only $5. So go buy your tickets for this.
It's worth it just to watch two Pikachus like bitch slap each other for a few minutes,
God, that has been used in so many AMVs since its inception.
as it should.
All right, well, that's going to be it for this episode. It was a bit on the short side. We usually go almost a full hour. We went a little less this time. But,
Close enough. I mean, we pretty much hit all the basics.
yeah. I mean, we'll be back in 2 weeks with plenty more stuff to talk about. We want to thank you guys so much for hanging out with us as always. If you have ideas for what else we could do with the show, or if you have suggestions on what we could talk about, let us know in the comments. You can also hit us up on social media. You can catch me on Twitter and Facebook as OtakuLife Jason. He'll just read whatever I send to him.
Yeah, just do that. I mean, he'll tell me.
So thank you guys so much. And for Geeks and Drinks, I'm Jason.
I'm Jordan.
Cheers, Internet.